up old podcasts. I thought, man, I should be talking about the same topics that I was talking about years ago, if not a year ago, multiple years ago. One of the things I would love to talk about is a new series. Well, now it's not new, but that series called like The Idol on HBO. Dude, I feel like I should just shut this off and stop doing this. Um, it's a very strange series. I don't know if I would suggest it to a whole lot of people, and you probably would think I was crazy. It's very David Lynchy, very strange, awkward, almost embarrassing. What's that word? Cringy kind of a show, but as HBO him immediately. But it's fascinating, and they say it's Johnny Depp's daughter, and I don't know what's going on in the world, but here she is basically showing off her body, ass, legs, tits. The opening scene of the first episode is kind of odd because it shows her face, and her face in that beginning scene's not as it's strange. Explain it. It's almost like plasticky molded Bandai Playmates, the toy company. Very, very odd. And then it goes on, and she's obviously very good looking person, hot, beautiful, whatever. But it's just weird, man. We're we're in a very strange time. And I guess it's been happening, but sexuality is it's getting crazier and crazier out there. And it just is. I know I did, which no one listened to, but whatever. A little video about Ice Spice. And the great thing about her, and I don't know if I've said this, but I have a buddy and his daughter. I was like, "Who are you listening to? Who do you like?" And she said Ice Spice. I had heard the name. I'd seen like a thumbnail picture of her. I never looked into her music. And then she started doing this. She did that, dude. I feel like I've said this, but whatever. That Betty Boop thing, insanely attracted to that, and like, luckily fascinating. And she is hot. I've said it. Oh, I can't even think of his name. He was a cheerleader, black guy. God, I can't think of his name. He was adopted. He actually like grew up, I think, in Mesa to a Mormon. Oh my gosh, he does a podcast with Joel Jimenez. Why can't I not think of this dude's name? But he was on another podcast and they were showing these girls on TikTok, and they were very hot girls, and they were just doing these little dances. And because he was a cheerleader, he just goes, "Oh, she's just doing a belly roll," and he just wasn't. Whatever the girl was doing, he just didn't think anything of it. And then if you, she's not doing a whole lot, but it's insanely seductive, and that's what. Can you imagine taking Ice Spice, taking anybody that's like that, that has an ass, is willing to show it off, and just take it back? Now you'd have to go like, what would it be, like 60 years? Geez, 60 years. Think about that. 1960. That was 60 years ago. You literally gonna have to say like 70 or 80 years. 60s, they'd be shocked. But you'd have to go back, I guess, a good 70 years. Dude, time is not stopping for nobody. But can you imagine doing that? Like going on Ed Sullivan, or just going somewhere and building a stage and putting them up there and just having them do these minute sexual movements. and just seeing what people would say about it. It's wild, man. But anyways, I'm looking forward to watching more of this show. So if I got it for the Black Friday sale, where it's like $2.99 a month, I thought another series was out, but it wasn't. So I'm gonna have to wait a couple months for that, which is the True Detective series. So in the meanwhile, I guess I'll be watching some other stuff like The Last of Us. Um, but I screwed up, man. I took too long. I should have bought UFC Fight Pass Black Friday sale for $30 for a whole year. I regret it. I should have got it. I haven't been watching UFC, man. It's been they do it now on YouTube, which is pretty cool. The preliminaries when it's a pay-per-view. So I enjoy that, but for the most part, I have not been watching it. I don't know why, but I'm going to talk about this. Another Black Friday wonderful sale. See that green light? Very alien. That's the webcam light. But this thing was on sale and I was going crazy. I don't know what's wrong with me. I want to blow money. Dude, I want to blow money. I don't know what. And it's not like an incredible money, but it's money I shouldn't be spending. And then I get stuff and I'm like, okay, I got it. Doesn't mean anything. But this thing, at first I was like, this is stupid. What have I done? It's kind of cool. Look at that. I can do a reflection. That's that Black Mirror, baby. That's what they mean by that. The Black Mirror, the electronics reflection. It was pretty cool, man. And I added some games to it. I can't add one game that I really do kind of want on there. And it comes with a lot of games. I'm just going to dance for the camera here. It comes with a lot of Nintendo games and other systems, but they've taken crucial games out, and from what I've heard is so that they will not be sued. So I had to add those games on, which was like Mario Brothers and stuff. And speaking of Mario Brothers, I've talked about it before. There is a hack for Super Mario Brothers 1 for the regular Nintendo called Zap and Dash, or if you look it up, Mario Celeste. Dude, it's one of the greatest games, hacks, whatever. It's so great. If you've never played Celeste, dude, that's one of the best games. This game, it's almost better than the actual Celeste game. Also on this thing, I think mine might be broken, but I don't really care. It doesn't bother me too much. They have Pico games. I didn't know anything about Pico. Pico, they say, is an imaginative, a system that doesn't exist, but yet people are able to program. They consider them 8-bit games, but there's some wild games out there. And so the reason why I bring that up is supposedly that lady, I'm gonna call her lady. I don't know. Maddie Games. That was like the first Celeste was on Pico, and it's on there. So that was kind of cool. And I played a Game Boy Advance port. This is to all the nerds out there. But it's cool. Why am I bringing this up? I don't know. It's just cool. So I'm able to listen to podcasts and play games on a handheld. Yep. Now, my transitions are great. Segues not needed. What's that comic? I always screw it up. The comic that talks about segues. There used to be. Anyways, I really do enjoy it, man. I was listening. I just happened to pull it up. Little podcast thing I did that's wildly successful in my brain. I was listening also to Albert Brooks right now on Mark Maron's podcast, and he talked about religiously how he would go home and he did a little show on a CB radio. and to no one. And I thought, dude, if there's anything I can relate to, it's that. It's having no audience, but still forming a show or doing something, which is, I don't know what this is. I just really like this. I don't know why my internet sucks so bad. I know as you're watching this, my voice like I'll slow down and stuff because of the connection so terrible. But I really do enjoy, for some reason, the low definition quality of this. Oh, it's raining right now. Oh, wow. I think I just saw some lightning. Huh. Well, I'm in Arizona. You see how hillbilly I'm living, folks? I had a lamp, and my lamp broke, and I took it apart, like an old movies from the 70s or 80s. I took out the cord and stuff, and there was a hook in my ceiling, and I am using it. I'm living rather humbly, but I enjoy it. I enjoy where I live. But what I wanted to say, which I don't know how this works. Ooh, it just popped into my head, that word from the comic book, and I can't. It has a Q on the word. A s. Anyways, dude, if you guys don't watch Mario Kaizo stuff, look at, if you ever played Super Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers on Super Nintendo. Is that what it was called? Look up Grand Poo World 3. It's out there right now. All the people are playing and all the top dogs in the whole Mario YouTube streaming Twitch world. Wild, man. Look that stuff up and be like, dude, how are these guys doing this? These people are geniuses for programming sucking. And that's the thing. I'm about to sneeze. Anyway, I don't know what else to talk about. I'm really, my life. What is my life? My life is so bizarre. I'm having problems at work. I don't want to get into it. And I've done some crazy shenanigans. So we won't talk about that. And the truth is just truth, the future. Maybe the future is the truth. Maybe that's why I said that, but man, the future's unknown, dude. I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but it's unknown. I guess that's it. Wanted to make this a little quick thing, so that's where I'm going to end. Everyone who listens to this is like, I don't know what I just listened to. And I got to tell you, I don't know what I just said. I do know what I just said.